Welcome to Colorful Conversations, where we flow freely, speak boldly, and connect colorfully. I am you, Keisha, and this is
Takesha,
and welcome to our girl chat. You were not like this week, but you look cute. I like your blush and your eyeliner.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Look, you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Good. I have a question that I wanted to bring up to you that I heard the other day to get your opinion on it. Like I'm jumping right into it. I saved this question for this day. But it was a lady that said she was asked, would you rather have a mother like your mother or marry a man like your father?
Wait, huh?
Would
I rather a mother like my mother?
Would you rather have a mother like the mother you had or have? Or would you rather marry a man like your father?
I want both. Can I have both? Like the man that I want to marry, I want him to fit all the characteristics of my father. Yes. And I would pick my mother 100 lifetimes over.
Yeah. That's what I was wondering. When she said when she answered it, she said, and I guess this is why she asked the question, because she said neither. And I was like, dang, I felt sad for her, because that means like you felt like neither one of them were like good, examples of whatever for you. And she was like, yeah, I'd rather have neither. I was like, dang, that was really, I felt bad for her.
Yeah, I would definitely pick my mom 100 times over, like without a shadow of a doubt. I would pick this version as a husband of my dad, but the growing up that I experienced almost all of my entire life until like the most recent 5 years, yeah, no, I'm good. But always picking my mama.
So the 5 year, the man he was
prior
before what, like maybe 2019?
Okay, I'm not doing no calculations for
okay. But prior, yeah.
Prior, it would be no, I would not marry that kind of man at all. Yeah. Absolutely not.
It made me think about my dad though, because he was a really, really, really great husband to my mom. Great man, period. But I don't know if he's the same husband to my mom that he is to his wife now. Not saying he a bad husband, but I just don't see him as the same type of husband. And it could be age too.
I think though, age and experience and just life in general, because when you become a wife again, if that's what you decide to do, you're not going to be the same.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But it could be too, because even when you're married a second time or whatever, that spouse is not the same as the spouse you had previously or whatever too. So yeah, but I definitely think it could be an age thing, because he's now 88. And when he married my mom, he was like 24.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she passed, he was like
older.
Yeah, he was like 80, 81. He was older. So yeah. So I think I would want, mine is probably opposite of you. I think I would want the husband he was previously than the one he is now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the one he is now is not bad. It's just, I want that one verse he got.
My dad has always been a provider. We never went without, like, to this day, I'm just like, we bitches, whatever. But he never put his family first. His family, like his siblings,
they came first.
They were first.
That reminds me of something I heard today. It's funny you said that, because it was a man that was discussing it, and I'm not saying this what Banks was, but he was saying a narcissist man puts his family that he's born into first, and the family that he creates, he does not. He can betray that family, but because that family that he's in that bloodline with, they're like they look at that family like that's their blood rather than the family that he created, which was weird to me because I'm like, the family you create seem like you would leave and what they say, leave and cleave to that family.
Mm-hmm.
But from my experience, when he said that, this is why I related to what he was saying. It was like, oh, you know what? I remember being married, and I remember the family, being like, they can make no mistakes. Nothing they could do is wrong. Not, but you could do the same thing and probably be wrong. So I could see that, but maybe they just don't know how to release the bloodline family like that, and not let them like forget about them, but just not put them first.
I just remember as a kid, my dad's always had nice cars, and my mother's always had a nice car as well. Don't get me wrong. So it was never a reason necessarily. My dad always had two cars. I've never known him not to have two cars, even to this day. But that special car, I remember, I don't ever recall my mother driving it, but I remember when his sister, who would come from out of state, who don't even know
the city,
he
would let her drive
pull
it.
out and let her drive it.
Really?
And that really stuck with me. And it's sad because most of my memories, most of my core memories are ones that I don't like. I have very few good, enjoyable, happy moment memories. Most of my memories are, that was fucked up.
You know what? That's really, I can remember, it was like that for my marriage. I can't remember like good, like you said, I can't remember like a lot of good memories. I think the main good memories is when I had my kids. When I think of like, let me think of something good. I can't, it's hard for me to remember, but I can remember everything that was bad or negative. And that's crazy that you say you like remember like most of the bad stuff. And that stuck out to you. That's like an example of, you like, why would you do that? And we're the ones that's supposed to be the ones.
And I watched my mom act like she was okay.
And you knew
but
she
I
wasn't.
knew she wasn't. I knew she was hurt by it.
Did she used to ask him to drive the car?
No, it was just understood
that she couldn't drive that car.
Couldn't. Yeah. And I think the only time that she would, it would be because we took yearly trips going down to Alabama and Louisiana. So it was just like he ain't driving all them hours by himself.
So she would drive it then.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just understood. This is my car.
That's the kind of the things that I think that maybe those are the lessons that I probably should have. This is where we go back to getting to know somebody and letting them become your friend, because you would know this stuff if you dealt with somebody for a longer period of time and became their friend and known their quirks or likes and dislikes and really how they're going to kind of, treat you. So yeah.
And now, Keisha, quite honestly, I don't even think for me it will have to be a long time because I already know my core stuff right up.
Yeah.
So in that first conversation, when I run that down like we in the interview, like
are you gonna run it down like you in the interview?
Yes, because I ain't got no time to waste. Let's get it going. You got about a free 5 hours because let's get this conversation going and then I can see what's what.
That's so funny because one of my clients just told, no, I feel like I told you this, but one of my clients just told me that she's been dating this gentleman. They're older, like in their 60s. And I hadn't seen her in a couple of months. When she came back, like she was getting her makeup done because she was going out to a concert with him. I'm like, you got a man? And she started telling me about, they've been looking for a house. I said, hold up. I'm like, you about to like marry him, move? She was like, girl, I ain't got no time to wait. She was like, I said, what? She was not wasting time.
I need you to relax. I'm gonna be right back. There's a bee. Keep talking.
Look, I'm looking for it. Oh, you got it. You didn't see it when you came in. You got some good eyes, girl.
Sorry, y'all.
No. Hey, that's why we don't edit anything. You get the live and in color. What's about to happen? Because you was looking like I knew you was about to go to that door though.
You did. You felt it.
Yes, I
I'm
was like, because you just zoned in. But yeah,
and I know like bees make people like super panicky. That's why I'm like,
because you looked at me like, don't move. What's funny is this is kind of changing the subject. Like I don't really get like real scary with insects and stuff like that no more, like I used to. Yeah, at all. I don't know. And I be telling everybody, oh, it's God's creature. It's gonna be okay. It's not gonna hurt you. Go ahead. Yeah.
but they will hurt you.
Yeah, they will, but I just be like, I'm not.
I don't know. I'd be the same way, like trying to hand a deer and be like, you a whole wild animal, and I'm thinking you about to eat from my hand. Like, what is wrong with me?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still scared of a centipede though.
And why? That's.
And I be telling myself like, you bigger than it, but it can run so fast.
And they gonna bite you.
They bite.
Yeah, well.
I don't know if it's gonna bite me or not. We ain't gonna find out.
Yeah,
because I'm killing that sucker.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
yeah, she was. We was. Yeah, I know you don't remember. Look. I remember because you was like, I ain't got time to waste.
Come on. Yeah, I don't have no time to waste. That initial conversation, I'm gonna get what I need to go to see if we gonna go to the second.
I replay conversations of first dates and stuff in my head. I don't know if I told you this. I be replaying like not past. I'm talking about within maybe the last 5 years of people that I've gone out with and dated. I replay like conversations that I had with them and realize where I overlooked red flags. Like, dang, you really ignored that. Mm-hmm. You really, really just kind of let that go, and people that was nice and whatever, but just things that I, now know I would never just ignore. I'll be like, you know what, you cool. It's all right.
Yes, because nobody is gonna be perfect. Everybody gonna have their thing, but there's some things that are like a hard stop, red flag. Do you know like one thing that's for you that's just like immediately no?
Yeah, it's a few things, but it's one thing that sticks out to me because it bothers me to this day that I let it go on. This one guy I was dating, and we were dating for like a while too. He was one I was dating during the time my mom passed. But before she passed, we always went out. We went on nice dates, but he was very, very rude to other people. And how you treat other people is important to me, not just how you treat me. He was so rude. Like if we went out and they got something wrong on his order, or even if we ordered in and just was going, because this was, I think, during COVID, during the time where some things was closed, so we did a lot of ordering in, and sometimes we order from the same place all the time because we really like the food. And he felt like, this is let you know how narcissistic people can be. He felt like because you order there all the time, they should just know his order and not get it wrong. So now you're not their only guest. And sometimes people do remember like, hey, they got something wrong or missed a sauce or something. This man called back up there. I listened to him berate these people over some honey mustard sauce. And I stood there like, you really not a good person. Like you genuinely not a good person. He berated them and just let them have it. And do you know that the lady on the phone said to him, like they had him marked in their system already as a problem guest. And she said it by mistake. And he said, oh, so you do know who I am because you said y'all got, yeah, because you done obviously, and I just thought he was very rude. If you're rude to other people, that let me know what kind of heart you have. You're genuinely not a good person. These people are in the service industry. They had a long day. You ain't no, above them. And the way you treat, and it wasn't just that. It was just like, it could have been anywhere. But that was one of the things that stuck out to me that I remember that I I said something to him like, that was so mean. And he was like, they need that up. I should have walked out the door then and just, never came back. But I continue seeing him after that. And now when I think about stuff like that, I'm like, man, he was just not a good, and he was, you know what I'm about to say? No, you don't.
Mm-mm.
A church dude, a preacher that
Oh,
stood and told other people how to live.
wow.
You know what I'm saying? Just
That's disappointing.
yeah. And he's actually the only ex that I've ever had that I just deleted and blocked because I don't even want I only want his spirit coming through my screens. I don't. But that just stood out to me like you really, really you don't have a good heart. And that's just one of the things that I just remember because I don't think that that's something that I looked at before. I don't think it was a thing that I thought was like a big deal in my growing up in my, you know, uh, older years before, like you said, the past 5 or 6 years. I don't think that's something that I really looked at. I probably would have been laughing like it's funny before when you're not healed. That's, you join in on their ignorance. And now I'm like, I will never join in on their ignorance because that's just not how you treat people. You know what type of day somebody has had. Like
I
so
remember though, we talked about this. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast. Me having a conversation with you about my son and him speaking on a young lady's character and was just
yes.
like, yeah, I can't do it. And it was a no for
And
him.
he was serious, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think
And I
that
commended him for that because yeah.
because when you have been involved with somebody, it's and you think you like them or love them, and then there another side of them start to come out that you like, man, that's something that I can't live with. I can't I can't live with you being just not a kind. That's to me, that's part of your kindness. I've said many times on this podcast, I want somebody who's kind. That's to me, that shows how kind you are. If you have patience, fruits of the spirit, how can you stand before people and tell them how to live and you don't even have the fruits of the spirit yourself? If you're not kind, if you're not patient, you going off on somebody on some honey mustard sauce.
Yes. And they got you coded in the system.
They got you coded in the system because of that. Girl, when I tell you, I was like, I knew at that moment, like, yeah, he's not it. And then after that, I started seeing more signs of his berating and then how he started kind of talk to me because he was very nice and in the beginning. Then he started, slipping that in on me, and I was like, you know what, dude, what you got to know
Mm-hmm.
is I don't need you or anybody else. So yeah, that kindness is important to me. Kindness and not being a scammer.
Didn't expect that one coming. A scammer.
Yeah, because I have been involved with a, I don't even say people, a person that was just, everything. And people may not look at certain things as a scam, but even if you hire a crackhead to fix something, to me, that's scamming. Like, get a professional. If you can't, do things in the business or professional way, you're a scammer. You if you go to a buffet and you don't want to pay for the pop, you're gonna get the water cup, then go get the pops.
Oh, I hate that.
That's a scammer. Like, just that's to me another part of your heart. To me, your heart is your liar. I don't want a scammer or a hustler or any of that. And I think that, those are just signs that I ignore. When that's the kind of stuff that I think back on. I don't be thinking back on, or I think back on people that cheated, yeah. But it goes because the cheating goes deeper than,
Mm-hmm.
just your surface level where you screw somebody else. You're not a good person because before I found out that your heart was just in,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So if I know that you're if I see those little signs of things, I'm like, you're not a good person.
Right. You're not even a good steward going to the buffet. So how are
Yeah.
you going to be one to me?
How you going if you can't do the simple things in a kind way, in a loving way, in a honest way, how you going to be loving to me? Like, really? That's why I think I, asked the question. Why I wanted to give that question because of, would you want the mother that you have or marry the father, marry the man that your father is because um, my father has always been very, very kind during the years of, him being with my mom. You done been around him. He talked to everybody. Grocery store, nobody's a stranger. Everybody, he's just people that's been rude and mean and dogged him and talked about him as a pastor. And, he still helped them. He still, he honestly lived in a way where they say they'll talk about you and you just turn your head and you still, he was that person. Now that man will go off on and not saying anything is wrong with it, but I just see he's probably lived a life where now he probably maybe in some areas feel like he ain't stand up for himself, or he didn't, just that's why I say I don't think it's anything wrong with who he is now, but he's just a different person. So, when I think back on when I reflect back, I don't reflect back on, oh, y'all was talking to other girls. Nah, I reflect back on conversations that I had where I should have examined your heart posture and should have examined um, who you are as a person, because who you are as a person to other people and when nobody's looking or whatever measures up to who you are in real life. So, you know, yeah, that's me. That's all I got.
Okay, well, thank
Well,
you.
that ain't all I got, but
Right.
yeah, do you reflect back on people that you red flags? No. You just know that when you meet somebody now,
I know what I want. I'm different.
yeah.
And I say that because I feel like when I reflect on people that I'm bringing their spirit alive in my life.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I do everything in my power not
To
to.
not to, yeah.
And even sometimes when some people be bringing up, I'd be like, they dead. Like, and people I know be like, don't say that. But I'd be like, I done already
but you know what?
So I don't like to, I really don't like to do that. It's just like I've grown, I've learned some lessons, and the things that I know now, I just know it. I don't reflect back on that situation. I just know what I know now, and I keep it moving. If something happens, you know what I'm saying, that brings back a core memory. Yeah, but I don't.
Yeah. And I think that just shows the difference of how I'll say women or people can reflect back on how to make changes in their life. Neither one of the ways we do things or reflect is wrong. I reflect back from learned lessons because I was very male centered. So a person who's male centered may reflect like me, like, you know what? You ignored replay conversations and things. Somebody who wasn't male centered, like my friend who was never male centered, like, I don't even want to bring that spirit up. Yeah. So neither way is wrong, but you have to think about what type of person you are to know how you want to make the change for yourself for positive. Because that's a good way of doing things. I could definitely see you doing that. Like, I don't even want that spirit up in here. Yeah. That's why I said, oh boy, I blocked and deleted. I was like, I said, I don't even want his energy coming through my screen.
Right.
Like, and literally we know a lot of the same people, but nothing ever comes up from him, or I don't even see nothing that he liked, or I used to always see comments that he liked, and people, I never see anything anymore because I was like, yeah, this is one of the things where I was like, really, I rebuke. Like, I don't even want, none of that. So yeah. He probably like, that girl disappeared off face of earth, because we did not end in like bad terms. We literally did not end in because I don't think you have to end in a, it was over. I uh he did not know how to. He was very rude in how he handled my grief with my mom, which was like the that was it. That was it for me.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't. He understood, and I deleted him and then blocked him, and I was like, yeah, no energy. So I feel you on that. I don't even want that spirit
Yeah. Mm-mm.
coming up on. No,
No, thank you.
no. So yeah. Mm-mm. What about with friendships? Because you more so have more friends than relationships. Like past friendships, is it the same?
Yeah, it's the same. I don't when I'm done, I'm literally like done.
Okay.
And the thing about me, and I've been like this my whole life, like now looking back, in that moment I sit with it. I think now that I'm older, I sit with it longer and I analyze it a little bit more from their perspective, where
Oh, okay.
before I just looked at a situation and might have like really focused on me, what I could have did better, not even considering how they felt. Now I look at both sides, but when I'm done, I'm just done, unless, like I said, something else happens to bring that person back alive in my life.
And I see, and I think I'm the opposite. I think I also kind of now, I don't think I did it before, but now I think I kind of replay friendships that ended uh, similarly to how I replay relationships that ended, especially people that I was extremely like close to. And I will replay red flags in the friendship that I ignored and just kind of, kept kept going along with it because I was a
Mm-hmm.
people pleaser more so in the friendships. But I think back now, like, dang, I I probably with friendships probably more so be like, I wish I would have said this in during this time, or when they made me feel this way, or not ignored it. I wish I would have, because I don't feel like I stood up for myself in a lot of ways, especially during my divorce. With what about old close friends like that I had not seen in a long time, like came over. I thought we was about to be friends again, and literally, I feel like now literally just came to get the scoop and probably laugh about it because it was like, well, what did you show up
Sure
for?
for.
What did you show up for? Like you
Mm-hmm.
literally came and sat and wanted to hear details, and I'm thinking, oh, so
Right, you thinking you got someone else adding in your support circle, and it was like, oh, okay,
yeah,
I got the goods.
and I'm good. It was that I think that was like started like a painful experience all over again with that. So now I'm like cautious about, you know, who I become friends with anyway. But I can recognize the signs of people who just want to be in your business,
Mm-hmm.
just want to,
Mm-hmm.
talk about you behind to their other friends. So yeah, that was very hurtful because you already going through a painful experience, and then for you to come and sit and act like want to hold my hand, or I'm sorry, girl, we about to. Nah, it was terrible. It was terrible, and that again let you know a person's heart posture
Yep.
when you dealing with friends or
Yep.
so called. That to me now, I look at that person like, dang, you're really not a good person. Like I thought for all those years that you were like a really kind-hearted. But when I think back now, it's like I don't think there was any kindness in that. You know, when I think about kindness, like when I think about you, I know that you'll just randomly, dang, I had something for you. I just thought about it and I forgot to bring it again.
Let's go get it. No, go ahead.
God, I've been waiting on this since February. I keep forgetting to bring it, but um, you want a friend that has a kind. I want the attributes that I have in a man to be the same in my friends.
Yes. I don't separate it. What I
Yeah.
want that for every person that I deal with, no
Yes.
matter what the
title.
The
Yeah,
title
the
is, where
title.
you fall
Yes.
under. I want it to be the same.
Yeah.
I even expect that from my son.
Mm.
I want the same from him.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And that's where I struggle a lot with him, because I know to my son, I'm his mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you my mama. That's what you're supposed to do. You my mama.
A lot of kids is like that. Yeah, yeah. But how do? It's
And
unfair. It's unfair to you.
yes, and
Yeah.
I don't want him to be like that, because I'm like, yeah, I'm your mama, but I'm still just a girl, and now we both grown. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's equal playing field now. But to him, I'm gonna always just be
His mama.
his mama.
And a child looks at it like, it don't matter what. I ain't gotta treat you that way because you my mama anyway.
Yes,
you supposed to do it anyway.
And I've struggled with that for a very long time. I think really just this week I kind of like loosened up on it, because the other day he like hurt my heart so bad, and I just started like really thinking about me with my dad. And I'm like, I'm the same way that Jordan is with me with my dad. I expect.
Oh, that's good.
I expect.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I need $1,000. And when my dad told me no, I'm like, what do you mean no? Like, I know you got it.
Yeah.
And the Jordan is the same way. Like,
he expected, yeah.
What, you give me $25, I know you got 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, the same, but I'm the same way. So once I started really looking at that full circle, I was just like, wow, the only big noticeable difference is that, and this is just who I am as a core. So everybody know, like, I'm a little bit more sensitive and more emotional. So that comes off differently, where I show that. You know what I'm saying? And my kid ain't sensitive and emotional, so he ain't about to come through with no, you know what I'm saying? Like, I send my daddy a card just because to show. But at the end of the day, I'm still that little girl that's just like, well, you my daddy.
So does that not that it make you feel better, because you still
it actually
does it make you understand?
It made me understand more, and to me, that's kind of the same as feeling better. It made me understand it more, where it was just like, you know what, I need to back off of these expectations that I have on him, because I'm really the same way, even right now today.
So let me ask you this: if your dad was different, and because he's always been there for you, but I feel like your father, I told you this before, has always seen the independence in you because of how they raised you. But if your dad never really did anything for you except things like menial things for show, how am I trying to frame this? Would you still feel like, you supposed to do for me, or would you just understand that you're not the type of dad? You know what I'm saying?
It's hard for me. I think I realize what you're saying, but let me say this. So maybe this, because I know that there are certain things that my mom couldn't do because of her, just who she was, her situation, finances, whatever it was. So my expectations of her are different than my expectations of my dad.
Got you.
So on the playing field, you know what I'm saying? Technically speaking, that's not fair, because both of y'all are my parents. So that's why I'm like, I get it where Jordan is at, because I'm the same way.
You've been to both parents though.
Yeah. But even still, there's certain things that if my mom would be like, I wouldn't do it, I would be like, okay. And my dad is just like, you Mr. Make It Happen.
And see, I feel like my kids, I'm their go-to for everything. They have both parents, but we were joking last night with my son, because we were taking him to dinner for his birthday.
And let me say this, not to cut you off, but my mom was always the go-to. But my mom would be like, oh, this is one you need to take to your daddy.
I do, and that's what I was about to say. I said to him, because if his car break down, he called me.
I had an accident, a head-on collision. My mother was in New Orleans. I called her. Mommy and Jordan just got into an accident, and she was just like, if you don't call your daddy, because what did I think? She was about to get on the flight and come in a blizzard and fix this?
And that's what, yeah, I'll be like, you do know you could call your dad first on certain stuff, right? Like literally, I think that I don't even think that it like really clicks to them to do that though. I'll be like, you call your daddy, and if he don't answer the phone, they gonna call me right, but he ain't answer.
I asked her to call him. I said, can you call him and then tell him to call me? I was in my 30s because I was 41 when my mom passed. So I was in my 30s
when that happened.
When this happened, late 30s. Yes. So I'm good and grown still.
Yeah.
I'm still a kid.
So I'm glad that helped you understand a little
because I really was struggling with
and then it made sense though. I think the other day we was texting, we was kind of talking about it, where you said that you have been the mother, the father, the friend, the everything as relation wise to him. So I can see how it's harder for you to understand that, because Takesha, you have been a great example of a mother, even though you don't give yourself a lot of credit for being a good mother, especially having your son at 19. But a lot of people who have their children early, young like that, do not, everything you did, every decision you made was for your son. Like where y'all lived, where he went to school, where that's an example of a good mother. You were like, so, and your son never wanted for anything. Because if you, and this is probably where I get an example of it too, with my mom and you, because if you didn't figure it out or whatever, when you needed the village, you found that village to, I was part of that village for a certain period where you was like, hey, can you pick him up from that? And you know what I'm saying? So you were not putting him with anybody.
No.
So your son has never wanted for, and only talking about material stuff when we say wanted, he's literally never wanted for anything.
No.
You've always provided, like Banks was a provider for you.
Yeah.
So I can see and understand why he'll be looking at you crazy like, what?
Yes.
And then if we want, and now when we get in the older age, and I don't know if, I think me and my sister talked about this, where you want where you feel like they get to a young adult age or adult age, and you want to see more appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
And do we teach appreciation, or is that something that they just know?
It's something we expect them to know, and I don't know why we expect them to know that, because we don't teach it.
Is that something that parents should teach their kids? Appreciation, especially towards the parent. It's a lady that I follow on TikTok. She got like 8 kids, her and her husband, and she showed herself just fixing basic meals for them. And they line up in the kitchen. They're very memorable, and they all be talking at the same time. She's really good because she got a lot of patience. When she give them their plate, she asks them what they want. She'll fix their plate and she give it to them. And then if they don't say, "Thank you, Mom," she said, "What do you say?" And she said, "They say thank you, Mama." And when in return, if they do something for her, she say thank you to them. Like, I thought about that. I felt like that was her teaching them appreciation. And a lot of people be in her comments like, "Why don't you make them sit at the table? You bring them plates." She make them line up because she's trying to teach them how to be orderly and be She literally take them to the grocery store with her, and they not like buck. They're all talking, but she don't let their talking overwhelm her because they're kids. She understands that they're kids, but she teach them manners. Like when she take them out in public, her and her husband, they go like to buffets and things like that to eat because it's a lot of kids. When they deal with other people, she's teaching them a like appreciation to her and her husband and other people. And I'm like, did we miss the part where we teach them to appreciate us?
And then I kind of wonder, because maybe, like with everything, maybe it's levels to it, because I feel like our kids still do show us appreciation in their own way. But my biggest problem is I want a me.
That's a problem.
That's my problem.
I want a me. Because my kid that's similar to you, the mini me, she's probably more appreciative towards me. Not that my son is not, but if I do something for her, she will randomly tell me thank you.
Yes.
Unexpectedly, I'll be like, "You're welcome," just
and that's you. One thing about Jordan, very mannerable. He's gonna always say thank you, and just like those kids, because I remember, like, even to this day, if I cook and say I cooked or make a plate or whatever, because I still do that, he gonna say thank you. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember a friend of mine, her at the time stepson was just like, when she made, he was like thank you, and she felt some kind of way, like, why he all saying thank you? And I was just like, it's probably how he was
That's
raised.
why
I
he's
said,
raised. Yeah.
because when I do it in Jordan, you didn't raise your kids that way, so to them they not doing. I said, but the way I raised my son, he says thank
Thank
you
you.
when I give him a plate or when we eat dinner or whatever. But my thing is, when I got grown, I thank my mama with gifts.
And you want him to be
So
you.
I want him to be me, and I want gifts.
And he
And he ain't
yeah,
me.
he not you in that aspect. But
Mm-mm.
he is very mannerable
But he's
though.
very mannerable.
He's very and when we
And
talk about the kind heart, he's very kind
he's
too.
very kind
Now he
today.
will cut somebody out.
Oh yes.
But
And
he get that from his
he
mama
will
too.
not talk to you
For yeah.
for he yeah,
But he is very like
yeah. Today, I had a really tough day at work. As you know, I've been going through some things at work, whatever. So I've been trying to be on my A game. Girl, I called someone and I'm like, I want to cry about it, but I'm not gonna cry. Like, I know that, this is this probationary period. I gotta do what I gotta do. Girl, he in the bathroom eavesdropping in my conversation, right? So he texted me while I'm talking. And I know it's him texting because he's the only person that has his own text time. He in the bathroom. I'm texting you, read my text. I'm still talking, but I'm reading his text, and he's just like, you done made some improvement. Be proud of yourself. Like, yes. Like, he really
poured
was
into you.
Yeah, he was really cheerleading for me. And then he was just like, yeah, I was eavesdropping. That was his last line. I'm like, thank you. So
See, and
I'm realizing, like, he shows me in
in
his
other way in
own
his
way, in
ways,
his,
yes.
in other ways. And that's, I think overall, we need to realize who people
Yeah,
are individually, because you're
yeah,
not going to always get a you. I'm not going to always get me, because
yeah,
people are not me. I
yeah,
may find somebody with similar qualities that do the same thing, but
yeah.
we all have that different, I guess they call it love language or whatever. We
Mm-hmm.
all have that different thing. So
Because how did that make you feel when he poured into you like that?
I was just like, that was so sweet. Like, it
Yeah.
did make me feel loved. And, I was just like, get yourself together.
But
Like,
I don't
girl,
think that your son, even though you're a gift giver, I don't think that he's a gift giver in that way.
yeah, he's not. And it's just
Yeah.
like, I need to accept that,
But
which is fine.
like he did,
And then the other
yeah.
thing is, nobody, I shouldn't say nobody, because my friends and family give me gifts, but the problem is, you already know what I'm gonna say.
Yes.
What?
They don't get a gift that you want.
Because the stuff I won't be like, it'd be like, girl, we can't afford to buy you that.
And listen, that honestly, that's really why I don't buy you a lot of gifts, because you very bougie when it comes to gifts. And how you treat yourself, we know that, and not that we treat ourselves bad, but you
It's
like
just,
expensive
it's
things,
different. Yeah.
And so I think I told you, like, that I don't want to plan nothing for nobody else no more.
Yes.
Like, I was dead serious about that, because I was like, my kid is really just like you. She was happy with certain things, but she was also expecting, okay, for example, how we was talking about 50, when you was like, 50s wasn't everywhere, blooms and things like. I was expecting something different, and I was like, so are you disappointed? It was just like, and I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I can't plan for people but especially when you know them, and I'm as a person's growing up and you get to know them. That's why I don't buy you a lot of gifts, and I'll do something else. I know you like flowers, so I know that getting Takesha flowers will brighten her day.
Over the moon.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's one thing she could depend on me for. I give her flowers and I'll take her anywhere she want to go.
Yes, she will.
And listen, and when she need water, I'll buy her water. I do things that I know that's within my reach that will make my friend happy. And you gotta do that. So I think that with your son,
and that's the thing, like I had to look at it that way. I had to stop comparing. Granted, he's literally a mini me.
Yeah.
Like pretty 95% of him is me. Maybe 90. I'm gonna say 90. But I had to look and be like, he's not gonna do me like how I was doing my mom.
Yeah, he not.
Because that's just not.
And I think
who he is. He
did a gesture the other day for someone else that you kind of felt, but I think he did that gesture because of who that person was, and he probably knew that would make that person happy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Even though it probably would have made you happy too, but today he do, I think, what he feels like that person needs. Today when he overheard you
he knew I needed that.
He knew you needed to be uplifted.
Mm-hmm.
And and he didn't even do it. Wasn't even a big gesture that he did for the person, but it was a gesture that you like. And I probably would have been the same way with my kids. I think I definitely would have been the same. Like, have you ever done that for me? Yeah. Like the person who does everything for you.
Yes,
I'll definitely look at everything they will do for somebody else. Like, if you do that for them, you better.
Yeah, you better do a cartwheel.
You better flip 2 times, back flips. But I think that's a good thing that we have to look at them like they're individual people.
Yep.
I told my son this, because when he have people that he's dating or whatever, he's very, like your son, he opening doors. Or yesterday we took him out. It was three of us. He ran and opened the door for all 3 of the females.
That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I ain't saying in front of them, but I was thinking, let me think, do you be opening the door for me when we just going with just me and him? I think he does, but we don't ride together a whole lot anymore. So, but he's very, very generous with like gifts when he has somebody that he's dating. He likes to make nice gestures. And I told him, don't forget your sister and like, you ain't gotta worry about me. But in certain little man-made days, don't forget your sister. So, and I think that's me giving an example of teaching them to be appreciative or teaching them to be a certain way. I'm like, don't forget her. I know you do other nice things for her, but like let's say it's Valentine's Day. That girl is not your first Valentine. Your sister, really, your mother, and not that it has to be, it don't have to be a bouquet of roses. If you give her one, your gesture is going to brighten her day. Don't forget your sister. And he was like, okay, so.
But, and I think that's the thing with me. Like, I love a gesture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I love the nice, but I'm going to get me what I want. Period. Yes. Hands down.
No matter what.
So no matter what. So those other little gestures, flowers could bring me to tears. I remember a couple weeks ago, Jordan came home with one single rose.
Mm-hmm.
I melted.
I remember that. You told me.
Like, I saved it.
I remember that.
Yep, I saved it. Because I was just like, I couldn't remember the last time that he had did something like that. And then everything that was going on, it just really warmed my heart. So it was just like, for me, that one rose beat a Gucci bag.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not necessarily all about the materials. It's just like knowing that I'm thought about. Mm-hmm. Knowing like all this that you do, I see you. That's all I want.
And that rose was that gesture.
Yes, like I see you.
Yeah, yeah. That's what we have
because that's the difference between me, like with my parents. Like I was all the time, like I can't remember having a conversation with my mom and not saying I love you. Mm. Never.
And I didn't say it enough to my mom.
Like if we got off the phone, I'm still saying it. And to this day, I feel like I didn't say it enough when we said it all the time. but like my dad is, all that mushy stuff is uncomfortable, so you just say it every now and then. But I let him know, like, I appreciate you in the best way that I know how that he receives, because it's just like, I don't want him to leave the face of this earth without knowing, like, I'm the woman I am today because of my parents poured into me, and I appreciate them.
Yes.
And I'm still dependent on my daddy. I know he probably be like, I wish I could still claim that girl on my taxes.
Ooh, it must be nice.
Listen, I'm grateful. Okay. I'm grateful.
Gotta be nice, because
I am grateful.
That's where I miss my mama. My mother, my sister and I were talking about this. My father is nice and kind. My mother was nice and kind, but she was very generous.
Generous, yes.
She was generous. So I missed that.
Yes.
Part of her. She was very, very, I think when it came to doing anything for us or like her grandkids, it was just like,
that's how my mom,
yeah.
like, if it was their last, even though it wasn't their last, they gonna do it to make sure. Very generous. Sure, yeah. It's not even a second thought. Where the men,
you gotta, yeah. And the crazy thing is, they're providers, but they're not like generous.
Yes, yes. Yes.
So it's my thing is,
as odd as that is, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Definitely providers, take care of it, get it done, but definitely not generous.
And that's why I have to think about, that's something to think about when you want a spouse. Do you want somebody who's generous or a provider, or is it a possibility to get both?
Well, I'm going to aim for both, and I very really want him just to be generous with me. I just have how I have this looking in my head.
I want him to be generous with me, but I want him to be a giver in other ways to others too. If you know somebody's in need, and that's what I think about people that I've dated in the past. I want him to, because that's going to be a blessing to us, but it also shows that he has a kind heart.
Yes, but it's also, and I think about this, just those people who take advantage.
Yeah.
Like you gotta know when it's just like, this ain't being kind no more. They using you.
I think that my mom, she wasn't only generous, financially. She was like, if somebody was sick in the family, she was the one to tell my dad. I don't care how far away it was. She was like, let's go. We got to go see them. We have to. Me and my sister were talking about this the other day. She brought it up to me because we have somebody in our family right now who's sick, and she's been talking to my dad like, we probably should go see them, and it wouldn't have been a question with my mom. With my mom would have said to him, he would have been like, all right, let's go. But it's like she would jog his memory to, we have to do this. And now he kind of is like, I don't know. We'll see. And it's not that a trip is a problem, because he drive 13 hours to go to Memphis. So it's like my mother was that person that, let's go pay them a visit. And when she paid them a visit, she did whatever needed to be done at the house, or cook something. I remember her baby brother was sick for a long time, my Uncle Leroy, and he lived on the east side, so it wasn't far. But out of 7 days out the week, my mother and father was with him at least 3 or 4 of those days out the week. And when she would go, she would tell my aunt, go take a break, because he couldn't feed him. So she would feed him, shave his face, do whatever needs to be done. And I miss that. And I think some of that is coming in me with her, specifically my sister more so than me, though, because even though she can be like, she'll go off on somebody, her heart is like that. And that's the generous part that I miss in our family. But so my mother, if it's something, if we say, look, I'm short with something, and you know, she go in that closet, and she go in her. She had some stockings, and she kept in her closet. She had a stack of money. She would pull that roll out and start peeling back. What you need?
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I miss. Like, man, with the dads, they were providers, but you gotta
Yeah.
like, hey man, look,
My mom will always be like, I ain't got much, but what I have, you can have it. Like, she
I
was
don't,
always
yeah,
like that.
I
But
don't
my
ask my
dad,
dad for anything now, especially now he married. I mean, I feel like it's, you know, inappropriate. Like my mama, she probably looking like that girl always in your pocket. People could be, but I don't know if she like there anyway. But I don't ask for anything. Thankfully, God done blessed me where I just, you know, been able to take care of things myself. But when I think about my mom, I miss that part. Like that, my mom was that girl.
you know, I'm sure you remember when I had Jordan. I think I probably had like 6, 7, 8 friends there.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember your mother was the only parent of a friend that came to my parents' house to see Jordan when he was born.
Did she? I mean, I'm not surprised, but
I remember that because I just was like, Percy is my friend for real.
that's when you probably really melt. Well, no, because you used to go to their house when you was pregnant, though, because
Mm-hmm.
she was trying to cheer you up. She was always, I mean, and not cheer her up, like
Yeah,
just
she kept me encouraged.
yeah, she kept you encouraged, and I come home like, Takesha, what you doing here? But I'm not surprised that she came over there. I probably came with her. I just don't remember. But I do remember the day you had him, and I told you didn't know where that
Mm-hmm.
food came
Food
from.
came from. Yep, I did not know
Yeah,
that.
and my mother was like, her mama needs to eat. She didn't try to feed everybody that was there. She cared about Dorothy
Mm-hmm.
Banks. Like, what, come get this plate and take it to her. You thought that it came from somebody
Yeah,
else.
I did not know where that food
She was
came from.
very, 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 very generous.
Yes, but yeah,
Like,
she showed up at the house to see that baby before I could move. Was outside because back. I don't know how it is now. Now I was a mama 100 years ago, but you know how they be like, you can't go outside and don't want you to do nothing for forever. But
yeah.
so yep, she came over.
And also,
Y'all
I
did.
remember I was his godmother, but my parents would get him
Oh
and
yeah, your parents took
take him
care
to
of him on the
breakfast, and
weekend.
they would
Yes.
always have. And I'd be like, I think about that now. It wasn't weird feeling then, but now I think about it, it was like y'all had my friend baby.
Yes, like when you think about it, like y'all had my friend baby.
Like I
Like
think about
between y'all and my other friend, um, her mama watched Jordan sometimes on the weekend. Ooh, excuse me, but your parents was like for real. Like
yeah.
that was it. I remember one night he spent the night over there.
He spent the night over there more than once, and
Like I
a lot of
remember
times
that.
it was just like a drop off.
Yeah, but I remember this specific one because this is when I was going to the Luther Vandross concert. I'm like, I'm going out to be fast, and my son is with my friend and her parents at the house. Like, okay, see y'all. I'm gone.
I remember specifically them taking him out to breakfast at
Yes, Bob Evans.
Bob Evans.
Yes, Bob Evans.
But that's who she was. Like literally,
Yes,
she was, and to me, that's like generous. Like you
yes.
don't. This is somebody who not in your family. You met her through me going to high
High
school with
school
her.
never asked for anything. Like it wasn't like I got to give you $20 to feed him gas money.
Mm-mm.
Never asked for anything. It was just like Jordan had a second set of grandparents.
And this is why I say she was the one who did it, because it was not, if she tell my dad we getting Jordan, it was just like, okay.
Okay.
It wasn't like, why we getting that baby? That baby ain't our baby. You need to tell that girl it was just okay. So that's what I miss, that I think that my dad misses now, that we can't get him to do things, like that. She could get him to just, okay, Jesse, I think we just leaves what she said. We need to, I think we should do this. And he'll be like, all right. you know, now if you try and tell him, he'd be like, well, I don't know, you know. My mama, I miss that generosity in the family is what's missing.
Mhm.
No, my sister got it because she literally told me the other day she thinking about letting somebody in our family who's in need come live with her, and I was like, you are, and it made me think about you, how you have let everybody in your family come live with you.
Yes,
Y'all some generous
and
people.
we coming on close, or we at a close. Yes, I have.
Y'all some generous people. Y'all are. Guess it's levels to it.
It definitely is. It
It's
definitely
levels
is.
to it. This conversation has started from one end of the spectrum to the next. We started off talking about we want a mother like our mother or marry a man like our father, to people being generous.
Yes.
Which is important. I mean, I want y'all to think about, because a lot of people will think that they're generous. I'm generous. I do for generous people don't brag about what they do. They don't say what they do.
Nothing is done for anything
Yeah.
in return. But when I say that, I still feel like no matter how generous you are, you just want to feel appreciated.
Yeah.
That's it. Because I've opened my door. I just want to feel appreciated. It ain't got to be like, I need a, sign every day. Like, yes, Keisha, let me live with her. You just want to feel appreciated.
Yeah.
I don't think that goes away. And I don't think that falls into looking for something in return. It's just, I'm doing something out of the kindness of my heart.
Well, I hope you know I appreciate you.
Thank
I
you.
really do, because it ain't often you get a good friend that just be honest with you, be a good person, have a good heart, no ill intentions, not trying to be a user, not trying to just sit up and talk about people, not trying to just,
Unless I'm mad.
unless you're mad. And even then, it's just like you were saying, like today, you ain't even going through, you just like, I'm having a bad day, or yeah. Just, and if we talk, and I think we said this before, if somebody come up in our conversation, it's just as an example of, do you think I should do this, or
it's not bashing the person. It's more, I be trying to get clarity. Like, am I wrong?
You know what? And you try to get clarity a lot. I think we both do. If people should still be in our lives.
Yeah. Oh yes.
That's
a good one.
Yeah. That's where the talking about, because it's not a bad.
It's not a bad, like, it's just, this person did this.
It's like, have we come to the end of the road with this?
Yep.
Making a decision, because sometimes you come to the end of the road with friendships and people, and it's a lot of that. Like, am I supposed to go further with this? Have this come to where, have this season ended?
Yep.
So, and that's why I appreciate you, because we have those talks a lot. Like, is this a good thing for me? Is this a good situation for me? So I appreciate you, because you're wise.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're wise. So I hope that y'all will listen. I feel like we literally just been sitting here talking like we rarely do.
Yes.
Like all the time. I want y'all to listen, subscribe. We're almost at a certain number of subscribers, and I don't even be looking at it like that anymore. I used to look all the time, but I don't even be looking. But I happened to look the other day. I was like, oh. So y'all listen, subscribe, share, tell somebody. I know that these topics and these conversations y'all can probably relate to, but y'all don't want to be saying nothing.
Mm-hmm. They relate now. I'm like, yeah, girl, yeah.
We just ain't scared to say it. So stop being scared. Just do it. Do it scared. You got anything else, friend? We see y'all next week.